Hi friends, my today's topic is A Valediction Forbidding Mourning by Donne. Donne is a famous poet of the metaphysical school of poetry. He belongs to a Roman Catholic family, and it is not easy for us to upload all about metaphysical poets and John Donne in a single video. So I will be uploading about the metaphysical poets in another video. Now let us go to the poem A Valediction Forbidding Mourning by John Donne. So in all metaphysical poems there will be a mention of religion. As they are strict followers of the Catholicism, they are religious in nature. Their poems too reflect certain kinds of themes regarding religion. Now we will move on to the poem. And the beginning of the poem, in the beginning, it is shown a person on his deathbed and what these poets has to say about death. The poem starts with its mention. And the situation is John Donne is going to France for duty purpose, but he is leaving his wife alone in England. So she is feeling very sad as they will have to part for a few days. So while she is mourning, John Donne tells this poem to his wife Anne Donne. So let us go to the poem. As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, whilst some of his sad friends do say, now his breath goes, and some say no. So, the title itself means that means something stopping crying. The title itself means when we part, we must not mourn. So, he is aware that his wife is not going to accept separation even for a few days. So, he is describing about ordinary lovers and their love. In the beginning of the poem, we see a man on his deathbed. There are two kinds of people. Some take death in a positive manner because they believe that they are going to be united with God. But ordinary people often feel sad while a few hours before death because they are willing to live in this world physically. But those who are followers of religious principles, they believe in the existence of soul. So the starting line itself tells us about virtuous men. He is advising his wife not to be sad when departure because they are intellects. The intellects will always welcome death only because they will be happily live in heaven. But the normal people or the ordinary people who are not much intellect as the spiritual people, they only protest against death. So the others around will protest, they will cry, and they will say that, oh, this man is going to die, he is leaving us. But the spiritual minded people often accept death happily because they are sure that they will be happily living in heaven hereafter. The next stanza. So let us melt and make no noise, no tears, floods, nor side timbers move. It were profanation of our joy to tell the lady our love. So John Donne tells his wife that let us also separate. You should not feel sad when I go because if you cry, then there will be no difference between us and the ordinary lovers. we are not ordinary lovers. So he's advising his wife that while he parts, she should not cry. So that means that she should not cry while he goes to France. Comparison is let us melt like snow. There will be no sound heard when the snow melts. And he's ashamed if she cry because only ordinary lovers would feel sad when they part. Then the deep love is for them because if they love very deeply and sincerely, then they won't be affected by separation. As the metaphysical poets were all men of learning, they often employ the themes such as religion and also science too. And in the next stanza, he says about the planets, especially Earth. That means a little science in it. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears. Man reckons what it did and meant. So, he is comparing an earthquake. It is sure that earthquake brings destruction. That means death symbolism. People are aware what would happen if earthquake occurs. But trepidation of spears, though greater far, is innocent. And not that every person will die when earthquake occurs. If you are standing on a plain surface where there is no building, you won't feel any earthquake. It is just a vibration only. How is that most of the people are dying due to earthquake is the buildings and other things would fall on us. That is how we are dying. And everyone won't die because earthquake is only a little vibration which is felt on the focus. That means the earth's surface. After that 2 or 3 minutes vibration, everything will be normal. So, genius knew what to do when earthquake occurs. Simply go to the flat surface where there is no buildings, then we won't even know if the earthquake occurs. After that vibration, everything comes to normal. Here spears means planets only. Dull sublunary lovers love, whose soul is sense, cannot admit of absence, because it doth remove the things which elemented it. Sublunary lovers means ordinary lovers. He says that ordinary lovers are always frightened of separation because their love is just lust, as we call, or physical pleasure. Such people can never accept separation. But spiritual lovers doesn't need eyes, lips or tongue to love. So, if John Donne and his wife are spiritual lovers, she should not feel sad when he moves. Only physical love are only for ordinary lovers. But as the poet and his wife are not ordinary lovers, she should not feel sad when he goes to France. Because they are aware of the fact that they can communicate in their mind. Our two souls, another paragraph we left. But we by a love so much refined that we ourselves know not what it is. Refined means pure only. Pure means in what sense? Not physical. So, the poet and his lovers and his love is very deep. They are not like ordinary lovers. the same explanation as earlier. Their love is purely refined. They can't express it in words. That's why he says that we ourselves not know what it is. Usually, ordinary lovers need eyes, lips, and hands to love, but they don't. Inter-assured of the mind, careless eyes, lips, and hands to miss. So, ordinary lovers would need eyes, lips, or anything else to love, but spiritual lovers doesn't need any of them. Their love is not physical, so they no need to touch and feel. They can communicate in mind. This shows that their love is in mind, that is spiritual love only. Our two souls, therefore, which are one, though I must go, endure not yet. So, their souls are also not even two. Their mind, body, and souls are one only. So, she should not feel sad when he goes. A bridge, but an expansion. Because when a couple is not united, when they are in different places, they too think of each other so deeply. So, love is capable of expanding more when they are away. Their love will never suffer separation. Will expand wider. Love is capable of expanding wider and wider. So, love is also precious like metals, and that is nothing other than gold. Like gold to airy, thinness beat. Now here another comparison of science. Now how do we get gold? The actual gold is not the way which we use now. The actual color of gold is black only. That is actually a black metal. After a lot of process, it is brought to this attractive shapes. Only after digging the earth, we get little pieces, and initially we see them only as a black color. Then after mining and doing a lot of work, it becomes this color. So, without being beaten, gold won't get this beauty. Only there is much proverbs. Beaten stone becomes sculptures. Only if we break stones and hit it much, that becomes beautiful sculptures. Similarly, their love will also become beauty, even though they are separated for a while. Their separation won't suffer. Their love can reach any longer. So that is why they mean that their souls are one. And in the end, Donne reveals us that what exactly is her position, what is her place in his mind, and what is her duty. If they be two, they are two so, as stiff twin compasses are two. Thy soul, the fixed foot, makes no show to move, but doth if the other do. This comparison is world famous comparison. John Donne compares himself and his wife to a pair of compasses. How can we create a perfect circle? While one pair is rotating, the another foot of the compass is fixed. The perfection of the circle depends on the firmness of the fixed foot. So, She is like the fixed foot of the compass and he is moving. So, if their aim should be fulfilled, her sternness is important. If they want to create a perfect circle, it should be fixed. So he says, she is the fixed foot of the circle and he is the moving part. The perfection depends on her perfection. And though it is in the center seat, yet when the other far doth roam, it leans and hearkens after it and grows erect as they come home. So, if she stand firmly, he can complete his job well and return home. So, his duty would be perfect. He can reach where he started from. But it is important that she should support him well. And if she is crying while he is going to France, his aim won't be fulfilled. So he compares themselves to a pair of compasses. Such will thou be to me, who must, like the other foot, obliquely run. So he says that she is the center of his life. Thy firmness make my circle just and makes me end where I began. This is what we explained in the last para too. The firmness and perfection depends on her firmness. So perfection often depends on her firmness. According to Donne, she is the center of his life. The perfection of their life or anything else depends on her firmness. So, here actually the comparison is between death and life. So, we can call the entire poem is full of conceit, yet none other than John Donne could have written a poem perfectly like this. So thanks for watching. Let's meet in another video.